everybody, and welcome back to the New Nasty Boys. Whenever you decide to watch, listen, whatever you want to do with this thing, you can do it. I'm your co-host, Billy DeVore, and sitting next to me is...
Chris Weir. Hey, everybody. Welcome back, Nasty Nation, to the Fart Dungeon.
The Fart Dungeon.
Yeah, baby.
1 week off, and I totally don't have the intro.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the pitter-patter situation. It's cadence. If you take the time off, you know, that's where we slip. But fortunately, it's just the off season.
It's just the off season. And, you know, now I know how the Orioles felt going into their playoff series. Just that week off. It totally screwed them. Got them out of sync. That's why they got messed up by the Rangers.
Yep, we were cruising for a nice pennant win, and all of a sudden the All-Star break happened. And then we fell over.
We fell over. So breaks, not great. And not great for podcasting, but, you know, it happens. And it's It's February 13th when you're watching this. So, still got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what that is one day before?
Huh.
Pitchers and catchers.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, because today, right now, it's the 12th, according to my little mechanical calendar. And then pitchers and catchers, Reds, tomorrow. Boy, howdy.
How about it?
It's finally here. It's real. We made it through the slog, dude.
Yeah, it feels pretty cool. Now we got football over with, so baseball is the focus.
Yeah. I'm so glad. You know, and football ended all the way we all thought it would, with the Chiefs being Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, nothing really to cheer about. It wasn't fun. It was irritating to watch. I mean, for a second there, you thought San Francisco was going to win. It was like, oh my God, they're actually keeping Mahomes in check. They're doing well. And all of a sudden at the end, it's just like, okay, here's a script that we knew would unfold.
Yep. And it was cool that the Super Bowl went to overtime for the second time ever. Dude, I was talking with my mom about it because we watched the game together, and she's like, I just think they need to get rid of that bye week. And it clearly shows. They had jitters the first half.
Yeah, it took them a while, like you said, like to get in sync, and your body's is so used to this regimen that when you take it off, it's like, yeah, it might be good for a handful of players. Or like, hey, his ankle's really hurt. Might give him another like 3-4 days. He'll be, you know, at 80%. But then like the guys who've just been like rolling the whole time, that'll throw them off.
Yeah, dude, it's just, yeah, especially with it being a timing thing. And you could see that especially in the fourth quarter with the Chiefs offense and how intricate it is with their West Coast style of offense. And, yeah, man, it just was surprising and boring. And it's like, it's a defensive slog. I'm like, no, these are just two teams out of sync. And, I mean, Purdy played a good game, too. I mean, you can't fault him for too much for Chris Jones being in his face all day, but... I mean, pretty cool. What was it, Jennings with the only ever player in the postseason, aside from Nick Foles, to catch a touchdown and throw one?
Yeah, that's a pretty wild stat.
So cool.
That's going to be a bit of bar trivia there for you.
Yeah. And you know us, big bar trivia pod.
Yeah. And as we're giving advice, you know, relating ourselves to professional athletes, we totally understand why being in rhythm and in sync is crucial for top-tier performance.
Exactly. These guys who are 350 pounds rushing around another professional athlete trying to tackle him. We're like, yeah, it's the same thing when we take a week off the pod.
I know. Sometimes I don't know where to put my elbows, and I hit the mic, and I get a little fidgety with my fingers back here.
And I'm like, I mess up the intro that I made hard for myself. So
we get it.
We get it. You know what I didn't get was the foot commercial.
Yeah, you didn't get it?
I mean, I got it.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting.
It was so gross. No, first off, I don't think Jesus needs advertising. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Do it just fine himself. He didn't need your help.
Yeah, man, we know where churches are.
Yeah, we know what places to avoid.
Yeah.
There's also like a circumference of 500 feet of people we know to stay way the hell away from. There's a bunch of pedos over there.
Pedo, ooh boy. Now we're encouraging feet rubbing in public. This is something. I mean, it just doesn't make sense when it's like AD, BC, like for keeping time. Everyone knows who Jesus. No one doesn't know who Jesus is.
I also like who they were implying like the natural enemies were.
Yeah.
It's like they're admitting it's like when there was a gay guy having his feet washed by like a Catholic priest. It's like, yeah, because normally you hate that guy, right? Well, I mean, yeah, but we don't have to. Jesus.
Yeah, it's just like some trucker like washing a person with hijab on. Hijab.
You got it.
Tomato. And just rubbing. We're like, yeah, we fucking know this guy doesn't like this person.
Yeah, and you know there's some people out there that are watching that just getting super horned up. Like, so there's a group of people out there that I don't think anyone's watching the thing like, yeah, I need to find some Jesus here. Yeah, some people are like, man, I need to look at some feet pics on the internet.
Yeah, dude, I was like, man, I really want some more wings.
Oh, man, yeah. I want to eat some from Funyuns right now. Well, I'm looking at your bunions.
Your bunions. Oh, you're getting in between those toes? Man, I really want some blue cheese.
Yeah, I want a 7-layer chili dip right now.
Dip. I was waiting for it to end. Like, I knew what it was, but I was hoping it would pop in and say, feetfinder.com. Just really take a far left turn.
I'm not sure if you grew up, you didn't grow up in, like, the Catholic organization.
No, I was in the Assemblies of God, which is an offshoot of Pentecostalism, which is far weirder.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
But
we would have to watch like a bunch of like Catholic videos or whatever, and they're very low budget, very terrible. And for whatever reason, they would always come back to the trope of washing feet, and I just developed like it would just make my skin crawl hearing water pour because they were always pouring it on people's feet and getting really into it, and I was like, this is weird. I'm 7, but this is weird.
This is weird. You know, normally they keep these things covered.
Yeah. And they're making like, they're always like, oh, the Lord. It's like, put your pinky toe away. It's weird.
It's crooked.
Yeah.
This is gross.
Pointing backwards at the others.
What is that smell? It's Jerry's feet. He's being blessed right now.
You might be saved, but those toes are going to hell. At least that one.
Or I was waiting for the end of it. They're just rubbing the feet, and then you just hear, boom, tough acted, snapped, and John Madden pops through the screen.
Like he's a fucking Kool-Aid guy.
Kool-Aid guy. Yeah. Because that's what they
take a week off.
That's what they would do. 1 week off. We're totally out of fucking sync. No, that's where the commercials were. John Madden would bust through a banner and be like, and just spray it on the locker room like, my eyes. Like he's doing graffiti on some dude's foot. Just God. Fucking foul. Yeah, dude, that's just unsettling. And my whole thing is, if Jesus can have advertising dollars, then churches can pay taxes. I saw it over the internet, and I've been just saying it for years.
Yeah, it's totally like for churches pay taxes. It's just loopholes for rich people. And you think about like the Jesus thing, and also like the truth advertisers.
Yeah,
I mean they're two different organizations, but like, where's all that money like coming from? Like where like this is like conspiratorial. Like, yo, where's that money coming from, bro?
Dude, like what?
Oh no, but seriously, like where? Like, whoa, we got a thumbs up over here.
Yeah,
I am curious, like where all that money is coming from and what the end goal is.
So what I call it the G-Sus campaign because it's very sus. That's from like a private. I forget. I read an article about it. Some billionaire, and he like some type of meat packing. Yeah, some like a food industry type of situation, and then the stand up to hate. I think. I don't know. Conspiracy theorist inside of me wants to say George Soros. That's who I really want to go to.
Yeah.
But no idea.
Yeah, it's just confusing. It's like, who has that amount of money to like throw out for a Super Bowl commercial with like, it doesn't really have an entity of like who it belongs to. It's a little spooky.
Sure. Absolutely. But if I saw Eugene Levy's face one more time, I was going to bust open the TV.
Yeah?
I was like, we get it. Homes.com. Most people aren't going to be able to afford them.
Love your show.
Love your show. Thanks for rubbing it in because we're all in Schitt's Creek. Thanks, dude. It's like they just keep rubbing it in. And then they like teamed up with Jeff Goldblum for apartments.com. And I was like, well, if you can't afford Eugene Levy, well, thank God we have Jeff Goldblum. So you can rent forever. As investment bankers and hedge fund managers continue to buy land and use them as assets, and then an entire generation won't be able to afford homes. But it's fun. You know that guy from TV.
Look at him. Look at those eyebrows.
Look at him. There's only...
He's standing kind of strange.
He kind of leans in when he talks.
He's mumbling. It's hilarious. No, I love them both. I really do.
No, I would take... Now, look, I would take that payday, too. So I'm not judging them on
for sure.
taking the money. I'm judging the people running those websites and continuing to ruin the housing market. So yeah, fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah, fuck the Chiefs is what we're saying. Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck Airbnb.
Fuck Airbnb. Just New York, man, they're basically getting rid of Airbnbs. They put out some new laws. It's very good stuff.
That's nice
for all those people who actually want to live in New York City. Instead of just treating it like it's like you're a transient or a tourist. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
I dig that. And also, too, like, if you're getting an Airbnb, like, it used to be a lot more affordable, but then at the end, like, all these surcharges that you're paying, cleaning fees, it's like, dude, I could have got a decent hotel for the same price.
Exactly. They're like, oh, you left one can in the recycling bin and you didn't take it out. That's a $500 fee.
Yeah, it's like, well, if I'm already being charged for a cleaning fee and you're making me clean anyways, how about I just don't clean?
Yeah, how about I don't clean? How about I pee in the corners?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Do you have a pee fee? You're about to.
I'm going to pee on her feet. That's what I'm going to do.
Can I pay extra?
Yeah. Where am I supposed to wash my feet in this Airbnb?
Do you have a piss corner, by the way?
We have established that the coffee table is where we poop, right?
Yeah. Just logically.
Logically, of course. It says Airbnb. Oh, no, Verbo. That's right. Yeah. Verbos will let you poop on the coffee table. Oh, so, hell yeah. Super fun stuff. You had a great week. I had a great week.
It was a blast. Well, I had the flu. That kind of sucked.
Avian?
No, I was still crossing my fingers. Hopefully, bird. Bird flu.
Cow?
Yeah, hoof and mouth. Yeah,
Hoof and mouth.
hoof and mouth flu is what I got. No, I had the flu, and then I went to the little clinic at Kroger to get checked out. It's pretty much, hey, you got the flu. That's what I'm expecting is going to happen. I'm there. I'm feeling like it's not good. And I've had some instances before, Billy can attest to it, of me pulling a dead fish, possibly just fainting out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And if you do that at the little clinic, the nurses really get all excited and they look at you like, are you dying? While they're if you pass out while they're taking your vitals, that's not a great sign. No, they were doing like a finger prick because to test if I had mono, and I guess like as they were doing, I'm just sitting there, and I've given blood before. I've done like labs and shit. I have passed out before with a needle, but it was like more of like a dramatic situation. I was getting like a cortisone shot as a young high school player, and like the doctor was like just digging it into my ankle, and I passed out. But yeah, this time they're getting blood out of my finger. I'm looking away. I'm like, hey, I think I'm and then next thing I know, I wake up and you there's no oxygen in your brain, so nothing's making sense. You just see these two heads over you, like wah, 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 like Charlie Brown, and then you got to call the emergency contact, which is kind of strange. You actually have to use that.
You have to use it. It's like, oh man, they have to call my wife.
Why did I choose my mom? This is terrible. I'm fucked. Just call an Uber.
Yeah, I just got a call. I'm like, it's you, and I'm like, no way.
Yes way.
Really?
No one else gave a shit.
Yeah, you can't pass out a little clinic because then they make you go to the bigger clinic.
Yeah. But so then I got that checked out. I'm just more susceptible to passing out, and just being in a flu state really triggered just like the lights out.
The one thing, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you came home and then just sweated out.
Yeah, I sweated a ton. Like when I was there, like I woke up and I was just like I took a bath, just drenched. And then fortunately, my parents live just right across the street from that Kroger, and so my mom picked me up, and so I just like sit at my parents' house for a little bit. It's like a 36-year-old, like, God damn, I'm just sitting here sweaty and stupid. I had to text my boss, like, I'm not going to be able to make it in or do anything here. Just felt like an idiot. Yeah,
sweaty and stupid. Welcome to my everyday.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't too fun, but I feel 1,000% better now.
That's good. What do you what do you think was the trick? Because it definitely wasn't medicine.
To make me feel better?
Yeah.
No. Just sweat it out, sleep.
Okay.
I had a couple cans of Sprite.
Here we go.
A lot of fluids.
Okay.
Mostly water.
Chicken noodle soup.
I did have some soup.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like a Greek chicken noodle soup or something like that.
And then that's why you're sick an extra day.
Yeah.
You can't go Greek. You got to go Campbell's.
Yeah.
You got to get the red, white, and gold label, dude.
It was just chili broth. It was a brown chicken noodle.
Yeah, they just kept handing me cans of Hormel, and I was just chugging them down. It's like, Chris, you weren't sweaty from the flu. You're sweaty from meat sweats.
Yeah. Your blood isn't moving.
It's been replaced by kidney beans and chili.
Yeah, but I feel 1,000% better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, with you being on the IL, I was like, we'll take the week off, and I caught up on some video games.
Yeah.
You know, I did a lot. What did I do? I beat Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That was
Congratulations.
great. Thank you. I beat God of War Valhalla. That's not true. I played half of it, then I got upset at the structure, because if you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. So I said, I will just watch the cinematics on YouTube.
That will equal me playing and beating the game.
Yep, I am satisfied. I beat the shit out of the game originally, God of War Ragnarok. And then I was like, all right. And then I got Spider-Man 2, and I'm almost done with the campaign.
Dope. Spider-Man's like I don't play video games, but like when I was like PlayStation 2, that's where I like maxed out.
Dude.
And that Spider-Man game, fucking loved it. You collect comics, get different skins, different suits.
Oh, dude. This new one's insane. It is all of New York City.
Yeah?
All of it. Down to the tiniest little details.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Flipping between each Spider-Man, it's like 1.5 seconds too. There's no load time whatsoever.
Wow.
It's bananas. Dude,
That'd be fun.
It's so good. And the web slinging's the best it's ever been. For all the people who care listening to this baseball podcast, it's so fucking good. So yeah, I'll send you a couple clips. You'll be like, holy shit, I gotta get a PS5.
Oh my goodness.
So, PS5 coming out in a couple weeks. Very exciting. MLB The Show 24. Can't wait to get that going. Because tomorrow, pitchers and catchers report for the Reds. How about that transition?
That's awesome. That was a good one.
Yay, thank you. Before we get into stuff that happened with the Reds, there's stuff that happened around the Reds that's very exciting, that's going to help shape the division. Corbin Burns, bye.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Switch leagues. Scram.
Yeah, get to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks. Have fun with that new, young, hot team.
Yeah, have fun with that, you idiot.
When they did the jersey swaps and I saw him online, I was like, damn, dude, he looks so good in that Baltimore white and orange instead of that awful navy and mustard yellow Brewers uniform. Ugh.
Man, the Orioles got a slick uniform. They have some really awesome, like that vintage, like 60s Oriole.
Ooh, buddy. Did you see the batting practice hat?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's horny.
Yeah.
It is like the 60s full bird.
Oh, for real?
Dude, there's those batting practice hats. I'll send them to you. Almost all of them excellent. They have one for the Phillies. It's navy, and it's got the Fanatic on it with his tongue out, with him wearing a sideways Phillies hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so good. There it is, batting practice hat. No, they haven't dropped them yet, I guess. Look up, type in, what is it called? I have the hat, Uni Watch.
It's not this, is it?
No, that's the clubhouse hat that they just dropped. Type in Uni Watch. And then it'll come right up, I promise you. And then, bang, right here. UniWatch got the leaks of all of them. The Reds one's okay, but that Marlins one is fucking fire with the white and aqua. That one's, that's incredible. You can't go wrong there.
That's great.
It's too good. I know this, for the people who are listening, the Cubs one's good. Sorry, but you're going to want to watch this part. Oh, dude, that one's
solid.
Awesome. It's so good. Reds one's okay.
It looks like the 2015 All-Star.
Yeah, very similar
minus
with that
the
band.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the one line.
They shifted it up. Oh, okay, it's a little different, but
yeah.
I kind of want to see another stripe on there. It makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
And also, they could have done like what they did with Gapper. Or not Gapper, the Fanatic.
Yeah, they could have.
Taken some chances with Mr. Redlegs, you know? Throw him on there with a Reds hat. The Brewers one's great.
A nice little barrel.
Yeah, wow. The Barrelman's awesome. The 90s Giants logo.
Great.
Dodgers
Big
ones
D.
are the worst. That's incredible.
That's fun.
The purple
Big Rockies.
with the black pinstripes.
Oh, that's a nice.
Yeah, the aqua with the snake. Padres is fine. Rays, you can't ever go wrong with Rays. Yankees are always subtle and they don't take many chances. I mean, you can't go wrong with that one. Red Sox, boring. That
nice.
is so good.
Pretty.
Very pretty. Guardian one is very similar to ours.
Yeah, I could have gone for another stripe, kind of something like that.
Yeah, it's not bad. The White Sox one is boring as shit. Twins is fire. And the Royals, that color scheme is sensual. And the Tigers, they gave them 3 stripes.
I dig that.
Oh, wait till you see this A's one, dude.
Ooh, slick elephant.
That's so it's with the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The LA Angels one's fine. The Houston one is sick. Mm-hmm. That Seattle one's awesome. The classic 80s, early 80s. And then the Rangers vintage tee. Right? Most of those are good.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of ours, but, it's just so reminiscent of the All-Star hat.
Yeah. And how often do you get to, do we go and like say like, man, that's another company has taken some cool chances with the red stuff. It's been a while.
I like the logo.
I mean, the logo's classic with the thin reds in there.
It has a nice little white outline as opposed to the black.
Oh, yeah. And that's a huge thing. Like, a lot of people are like, the Reds need to drop the black outline from their uniforms. Yeah. What do you do? What's your take on that?
I'm not a hard liner on it, but I like it without.
Okay.
I think it really depends on the design, but like that big, thicker sort of drop shadow, not a huge fan of, but I don't have such a strong opinion about it as what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't mind it. I've seen it without and it looks good. Like the satin jacket I have doesn't have that drop shadow and it's just those block letters and it's cool. Like I like that would be the drop shadow came in the early 2000s, right?
I think so. I think that's another thing. It's associated with a lot of down seasons.
Yeah. I mean, when they did that full reboot of the unis, that was 2008. Yeah, because then 9 rolled around and then the playoff stretch. And then, so I don't know. I think the Reds are due for a refresh. The Twins have gotten them. The Nationals got them. Mm-hmm. And it's such a shame the Nationals are getting rid of those cherry blossom uniforms at the end of the year.
Oh, that's a bummer.
They're the best City Connects out there.
You're really nice. They took a big chance with that. I thought it was pretty well received and done very appropriately.
I agree, and it was, but the problem you have is that since they've had them, the Nationals have been dog shit.
That's the other thing, too, is like the big mental association you have with a particular era of team with the logo that you're watching, like you're seeing them, or like, a type of uniform, like the Reds, like cut off sleeves from the 90s, and a little early 2000s, maybe, too.
Yeah, they went up until, 2005, I want to say. Oh, yeah, because they did the refresh in like 03, 04, not 08. But yeah, no, the Reds are due for a new.
I think so too.
I mean, they've gotten the alternate, this red script, red jersey, and then they've gotten the City Connects. But nothing like DC. They're getting full new home and away uniforms.
Yeah, I think with the amount of things, it just makes sense as like a marketing thing, especially too with like this type of team. It's like, hey, this is a new era, new team, new uniforms.
Yep, that was the whole thing that they promoted last year with the City Connects.
It makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, looking towards the future, all of that, and I was like, yeah, this checks out. Mm-hmm. So I don't, you know what? I bet they do it next year. I could see that happening with them. If the Reds go, if they're as good as we think they're going to be, then they'll definitely do it. Mm-hmm. Do you see that the Rockies are getting rid of their cutoff sleeves?
No.
Yeah, so now there are no more sleeveless baseball uniforms.
That's crazy.
It's not a shame.
It is a bit of a shame. I remember that was a big thing, like when you were a kid getting to wear like the sleeveless uniforms. You thought like you were the biggest. Like, dude, my biceps are huge. I'm the biggest 12-year-old here.
Dude, and you just have the eye black on.
Oh, dude.
You make your parents go buy you Oakleys, and instead they buy you the knockoff ones at United Dairy Farmers.
Yeah, the Folkleys.
The Folkleys
the big fat Z Corbetts.
Oh, God, I started dipping,
Dipping with the big chew.
Big chew. Oh, my God, yeah. But it's an end of an era, man.
Yeah. I'll miss the sleeveless. I think it's great for like to have every once in a while. But yeah, sayonara sleeveless.
Yeah. I mean, when they brought them back in 2019, when the Reds did like a trip through the uniforms down, and when I saw the authentic, I was like, God, I just tried it on.
What a time to have Yasiel Puig and Dietrich on the team for when we're having the cut-off sleeve jerseys.
Dudes with just with Dietrich with the show muscles.
Oh, yeah, we should have nothing but Billy Hamiltons.
Just tiny little
fastest dudes.
Oh my god! In those uniforms, dude, he would look like a ghost in that thing.
He would look like a very like old timey baseball player. We just get lost in the uniform.
Yeah, he'd look like Rookie of the Year. We don't have one big enough for you, kid. And he's like, it's okay. I'm Billy Hamilton. And throw it on.
Yeah, I like seeing like the throwback uniforms and doing like the promotional things for different interpretations of the stuff. And I really did like the City Connect a lot better once it was described to me. I think you were telling me about how it's like a looking forward to the future as opposed to looking towards the past.
Because that's what the Reds organization had done for so long. They're just like, huh? Look at what we did. Hey, look at this. Remember when we were killer in the 70s and we were great in 1990 and then had a playoff run in the 2010s and it's just been a little bit painful and now there's a light at the end of the tunnel where there's a chance for a sustained winner? We should do uniforms look into the future.
It's awesome too. Like it's coinciding with because they're legit like building new fans and stuff, and they're so like the young kids are associating this Reds team with that Black City Connect uniform.
What the first moment I think of when I think of those uniforms, LE Cycle.
Yeah, same.
And every kid's gonna think that too. And like everyone when everyone came up and they like made their debut in those unis, like that was just a big deal last year, man.
It was, and they won that 12-game win streak, and then like having those uniforms like seemed to be like a big part of that win chunk.
Yeah, that was awesome. They're gonna do it again this year. I feel it. And it also helps that Corbin Burns is gone. I mean, if you look at the Brewers rotation, nothing. They got Joey Ortiz and they got DL Hall and the comp pick. And you look at the amount of time of players that accrue. You've got all of the pre-arb and arb with Ortiz. You have like most of the years with Hall. And then you have the comp pick, which, that's late first round, which that's a new thing that you can trade your comp picks. So there have been players that have come from these comp picks that have been superstars, but at the same time, it's still you're taking a chance with that, and you're moving a guy who's an ace, who's a number one in almost every rotation. There's like maybe a handful where he wouldn't be the one, like Yankees with Cole and Dodgers with presumably Yamamoto, from what we're being told. Again, we don't know. Well, but that's what the contract says.
Yeah, all the speculation here, baby.
All spec, baby. But yeah, no. And so you're giving that up, and it's like, well, see ya. And I also have a little bit of a theory why the return wasn't as crazy.
What's that theory?
His agent is? Scott Boras.
Okay.
So who wants to deal with that? And look at the big four free agents that still haven't signed.
Who we got?
Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, Matt Chapman, Cody Bellinger. All represented by Scott Boras.
Yeah. So that'd be an issue with some people.
Yeah.
Just not wanting to have that headache.
No, they don't want to deal with it. They just want to get it done and over with. So, the Orioles could sacrifice Joey Ortiz because they've got Jackson Holiday. DL Hall hasn't really done much in the pros and came out of the bullpen, had some promise, but the Brewers, being the Brewers, probably saw something. They're going to fix him. He'll be a fucking stud or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But, what do you think?
Well, it is also, too, like, piggybacking on, like, what you were saying about them just, like, wanting to be like, okay, point A to point B. They've been having so many different transactions and, clubhouse face changes the Brewers organization has. So, yeah, I can see them taking a little bit of a chance of a loss or not getting back, like, full value for that trade.
Yeah.
For my standpoint, being in that division, I like it. I wish him the best in Baltimore with that fun young team. So good. I think it works out for us. It works out for Corbin. So yeah. Hey, I'm down for it.
Yeah, I can finally cheer for Corbin Burns.
Yeah, and a nice looking uni.
And the Brewers have made a lot of interesting moves. Like they start off, they lose Craig Counsell to the Cubs. And then they went out and they signed Rhys Hoskins, where I'm like, okay, that's an offensive move. Like, that's a guy who, aside from last year without being out the whole year with his ACL, it's like, oh man, they're loading up. They're going to go for it. And And then, boom, zig. And they're like, oh, we're trading Corbin Burns.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard right turn there.
And then signing Jackson Churio to, like, that crazy deal to have him here, a guy who hasn't even played the bigs yet, and they lock him up. So it's like, it's very odd what they're doing. They're operating like the Brewers, so it's anything you do that's kind of off kilter, you're like, I guess I'm not surprised. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at them and seeing this, it makes me think, oh, they're going to fucking trade Devin Williams, too.
It's possible.
Yeah, he's got this year and next year left. If you could trade him before the season starts, you could get a haul and go, yeah, well, we could win, Then you could comfortably say, if you're the Brewers, who say if Yelich comes back, if Churio works out, if Joey Ortiz works out, Rhys Hoskins smashes, they're like, we could be an 85, 86 win team.
Yeah, and just put them above that threshold there, and they're not going to shy away from making any like big moves. I mean, you've seen them; they're comfortable doing a bunch of big shifts that they have so far. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see the different moves that they make, this upcoming season and the seasons to come.
Yeah, and just in general for the division with the Reds. Brewers also signed Gary Sanchez, who had a pretty good bounce back year at the end of the year, well, halfway through the year last year, by being Blake Snell's catcher and just mashing. The Brewers, catcher you over there, man. They fixed so many guys' careers since, like Yasmani Grandal. You had, after that, I mean, William Contreras. He went from being a defensive in the bottom third defensive metrics, and then he went to Brewers U, and they're like, hey, we got you fixed right up.
Yeah, we just tinkered with you a little bit there. Figured you out. We got you rolling. So, let's go. Yeah, let's go here. Skip some of this stuff. Jesse Winker is now with the Washington Nationals. Minor league deal. That's a steal. Yeah, I'll say so. He's still got some age and pop left in that bat. So, yeah, I wish him the best.
Yeah, me too. I just hope that, that he just gets there, gets revitalized, and gets moved at the deadline.
Yeah.
And plays some meaningful baseball in the second half of the year.
That'd be dope for him. Just come in, just be that, late-time assassin. He's great for a pinch hitter, too.
Yeah. Guy knows the strike zone. He's a lefty. And if he stays healthy, good Lord.
Yeah, that was a big critical thing with so far we've seen with his career is not being able to stay healthy, not being able to stay put together. But, man, it doesn't seem like he's a player that has a lot going on in between the ears. You just get him up there for a pinch hit scenario. He could be a hero.
He could be.
Jesse Winker wears the hero cape well.
Oh, yeah, he does. He did wear it very well in Cincinnati. And, maybe he's just a full-time DH. Nothing wrong with that. And I think I don't even think he's 30 yet, if you're making me guess.
Yeah, I don't think he's not old, but he is seasoned.
He is 30.
Yeah, so
he's 30.
Minor league deal. I think he can resuscitate his still youthful career, and if he can stay healthy, there's no reason why he can't mash for a team.
No, I could see he's one of those guys who I'm always in the past couple years I've always just been like, you know what? Comeback player of the year, Jesse Winker.
Yeah, you want to see it.
I want to see it because 21 when he was so good, and then his earth got shattered and got sent to Seattle, and it seemed just like he never bounced back.
No, it just reshaped him a bit. Hopefully, it's just something that he can right that ship because he was a super fun player to watch.
Dude, he was a blast. So hopefully he figures it out with the Nationals. And then our other guy that I love dearly, Amir Garrett, signed a minor league deal with the Giants. Hopefully he gets his control back. And that slider's always been nasty, but it's good to check it and see a couple guys that were super fun for the Reds at 2018, 19, 20, 21 to be like, all right, cool. They're doing it.
Yeah.
It's just so funny that people, when Jesse Winker got traded, sell the team. Look how that worked out.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just to have a looking glass into the future to see how some of those decisions would unfold.
Oh, it's so great. Almost as great as Trevor Bauer going on Theo Vonn's podcast.
Hey, you've been on Fox and Friends. Now make the rest of the tour. Go to Theo Vonn. Hey, do the Rothschilds have a podcast we can get on? Is anyone renting the pedophile island yet from Epstein?
Yeah, let's just send him there. Good God.
Just all the worst actors you have out there. But yeah, of course, it makes total sense.
Yeah. It makes the most sense. The Rat King and then the guy who's been disbarred from baseball. He's just going on this apology tour and gaining sympathy from people. Like, I had a couple people text me and go like, man, why do I like Trevor Bauer now? I'm like, because he's sorry, and this is the only way for him to try and get his job back.
Because there's millions of dollars at stake, and he has a lawyer crafting a lot of what he's saying to get you to feel sympathy.
Yeah, he also probably has a really, really good PR person who's coached the fuck out of him.
Yeah, watching that video that when he was on Fox, like, wow, that is someone who's been coached. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. They have a game plan. Everything you're seeing with him, from his haircut to the sports jacket he's wearing, it is strategic.
Yeah, down to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, let's do Theo Vonn because it'll humanize him. He's with a stand-up comedian who's known as the Rat King, who's a fun, loose guy.
Yeah.
You know, this will humanize him, and you know what? And it's worked for some people.
Yeah, I mean, for backstory, Theo Vonn's a great podcast if you want to go on and say, question the amount of Jews that died in the Holocaust. And throw your hands up like, it's comedy. You don't know what you're talking about. Is this thing on?
Is this thing on? Oh, God. Yeah, that's definitely. My whole thing is that he just comes on. He's like, man, I just want a chance to play. And I'm like, and then people are saying, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm starting to feel for him. Don't forget that he would go after 14, 15, 16-year-old kids on Twitter.
Yeah, he's not a good dude. I mean, regardless if he is innocent or not, he is still like on the barometer of douchebag.
Yeah.
He's very much like he's pressing the needle. Yeah. He's bearing the needle in douchebag.
Yeah.
And it's very close to a lot of the other things that he's accused of doing.
Of course. And sure, humanize all of this stuff. But the bottom line is you can say what he said, which is, I just want a chance to compete. I want him, just the minimum, and it's incentive based. And then I can go prove myself. I'm like, cool, you can go prove yourself, but you still have one case hanging around that they need to figure out so you could prove that you're innocent.
Yeah, you don't prove you're innocent by like putting up a good ERA. It gets proved in court. Like it's like a legal thing. It's not like, man, if I can just make it to the All-Star game, that will prove I didn't, have non-consensual violent sex.
Yeah. Innocent until proven guilty, sure, but guess what? Litigation and paperwork are still trying to figure themselves out. And until then, he's not gonna get signed.
Yeah, why would you invite that headache? Even if you do think, like, even if you're on his side thinking, like, hey, man, I believe you, but we cannot have this chaos in a clubhouse that's competing for a pennant.
Yep, you can't have it. And even then, it's like, well, even we don't want that around a young team. Where do you even put him? Like, it just doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't, and no one's going to take that chance.
No.
Nobody. So he can go up and garner all this sympathy and say all this stuff and have people come to his defense. It's not going to happen. It's the old boys club. That's what baseball is. Do you think that these guys who try to cut every corner and save every little penny and try to not be bothered are going to bring a problem into their clubhouse? A media frenzy into that clubhouse. The negative attention from anyone with a microphone, be it from The Athletic to the shell of Sports Illustrated to just two guys yelling in the fart dunge. No, they aren't going to do that.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, I get it when people want to engage and say, like, yeah, but look at his numbers, look at it. I think, like, he deserves a chance where, like, all that aside, introducing that into the clubhouse still brings an undeniable amount of negative energy that you're going to have to cope with.
Yep.
So I just don't see why you would want to offer to, like, yes, come here, be the test ground for this sort of thing, that it's just going to be a media sensation for the entire season.
Yep, and the bottom line here, when you were talking about numbers, is 0. That's how many cases he needs to not have, how many cases he needs to have active in court is 0 before you can even discuss the other stuff that we talked about that is already flawed with it.
Yeah, before we touch spin rotations, we got to talk about court numbers and all the stuff he stands accused of.
Yeah, and the arsenal that he has, totally got it. Totally get it. And even you've got Jonathan Papelbon coming out and tweeting, I believe Bauer outage has a lot to prove and everything to lose, which could be a recipe for success at Red Sox. I will pay his minimum salary if it doesn't work out. But if it does, you pay me the minimum salary as well.
What are these people doing?
I have no clue.
What's going on in these people's brains? Like, you're just going out there, to have money and no thinking ability. Like, just have no thought.
And this is coming from the same guy who was known for just, like, if you looked at him wrong, he'd drill you.
Yeah. This is a great person to have, like, come up for your defense. Like, let's have Roger Clemens come out next. Or what about OJ will come up and defend you?
OJ just doing a, hey friends, OJ here. Like he's from his, he records himself. And he's just like, I think Trevor Bauer, not so bad. Glove don't fit. Okay, good to see you.
Okay, let him play.
let him play. And he's not. There was one of the instances that Papelbon had was he was pitching for the Nationals. He drilled somebody and then got into a fight with I think it was with the Orioles. Got into a fight with the whole team, and like the rest of the Nationals just stood and watched.
Like, let him fight. We don't give a shit.
Whatever, dude. Guy sucks.
Yeah, when your entire team is gonna let your ass get like whipped by an entire other team, that's saying a lot. There's an entire unanimous decision by a clubhouse of guys saying like, yeah, fuck him. He deserves it. He deserves 40 different fists flying his direction.
He's just like, they're like, what he's doing to you guys out there? Imagine what he's doing in these closed doors back here. Nightmare.
Yeah, imagine what he doesn't want you to see.
Yeah, it's not great. And so it's like, Jonathan Papelbon coming to the rescue and be like, Red Sox, you got to sign him. You got to get him. You got to bring him in. Mm-hmm. It'd be just as glowing of it's not as glowing of an endorsement if it was goddamn fucking Curt Schilling.
Yeah,
who's all-time human.
Was I getting Roger Clemens and Curt Schilling confused?
Yes,
I think. Yeah,
you were. I was like, the Rocket. I mean, he did steroids, but he's like a dad who's active in his kid's life. And
okay, I was getting confused.
Curt Schilling says the January 6th people are heroes and patriots and need to be freed, and Roger Clemens just has blonde tips.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was getting my Patriots confused.
Look, different. Texas Patriot versus January 6th Patriot.
Yes.
Very different.
I apologize.
Yeah, as you should. My favorite thing for Papelbon recently, he went after Alex Verdugo because he got moved to the Yankees and tweeted, Verdugo, I mean Verdugo is a bitch. Cora has his players and teammates' backs more than anyone in the game. You aired yourself out by being late, lazy, and unproductive. If I played for Cora, I'm drilling this bitch. Just saying.
What an ultimate dude.
What a cocksmith.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm not playing now, but I'll tell you what. If I was, I'd hit you, you bitch.
I'd hit you.
See you later. Just saying.
Just saying. Babe. Miller Lite. Just saying. Just saying. Just firing it out. What's for dinner? I got more tweets. I got things to say.
I got tweets to fire off, babe. The internet needs me.
He's one of those people that for sure calls it X.
Oh, yeah. I love any chance I get to dead name Twitter.
Dead name Twitter.
It's so much fun.
It's way better.
Yeah.
I clicked, someone texted me in one of my group chats, and they sent a Twitter link, and I clicked it, and it says, X, it was like from group chat, from so-and-so sent a link from X, formerly known as Twitter.
I hate how people say that. You hear people on podcasts say X, formerly Twitter. We know.
We got it.
We understand.
Yeah, totally understand. We know that Elon's ruining this thing that we used to have fun on. Mm-hmm. It was a great time.
Now you can't log on seeing a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff. It's insanity. Yeah, I really hate it.
I really hate it.
It's all clickbait.
X, formerly known as Twitter, formerly the artist known as Prince.
Yeah, formerly a fun spot to hang. Now it's just really ugh.
Oh, this is rough. Now we get to talk about the Reds.
Yay!
Yay! By the time you're watching this, pitchers and catchers have reported for duty.
It's awesome.
So exciting.
It begins.
It happens. So if you take a quick look, you take a gander at your starting rotation, we're so excited, fantasizing here, getting all ready for it. Hunter Green, Frankie Montas, Graham Ashcraft, Andrew Abbott, Nick Lodolo.
Slick.
Very slick. Your bullpen, Ian Jabot, E-Tang, Buck Farmer, Sam Mull, Emilio Pagan, Nick Martinez, Brent Suter, Lucas Sims, Alexis Diaz.
Love it.
How you feel about that?
I feel really good. I think we're still going to see some more arms being added to the reliefs position. I think we can make some more moves there. But starting pitching wise, I am in love with this. This looks great, and these pitchers now having gone through, Andrew Abbott having gone through a season. Hopefully, Nick Lodolo is going to be fresh and ready. Graham Ashcraft, seeing him get another go around, being able to correct course. This is going to be a statement year for a lot of these young pitchers.
Absolutely. My thing is, 4 out of those 5 starting pitchers, you look and you go, injury history. Ashcraft, not so much with the toe, and you kind of get it. But like Frankie Montas, all of last season. Mm-hmm. Hunter Green, a fair amount of starts. Abbott, his arm just went dead. Mm-hmm. And that happens. It was his first big year in the big leagues. And Nick Lodolo only had, 3 starts?
Yeah, he threw like under 40 innings.
It was bananas. So there's a lot of young potential. But if it all works out, dude, Lodolo's nasty.
Yeah, he really is.
We forgot, those first 2 starts before he was hurt, he was gross.
How many times did we see, in just the limited amount of starts, how many strikeouts did we see where the batter was swinging, missing, and then jumping up and down because the ball hit the back of their toe? Seeing that happens so frequently. But yeah, that is definitely the one big caveat with the starting pitching is that the health was an issue, and how is it going to be if it is an issue this year? And how will they respond? We're going to get some more arms in the bullpen, more ipso facto starting pitchers.
Yeah, you also have a ton of depth. We didn't mention Connor Phillips. Mm-hmm. We didn't mention Brandon Williamson. Mm-hmm. We didn't mention T.J. Antone, who's coming back from a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm. So there's options. If someone does go down, someone gets another opportunity or their first opportunity in the bigs.
Yep, 100%. Oh, come on. Don't be ridiculous. My Nick Lodolo, thank you. Pitcher list changed their stuff. So I'm looking here, and I'm looking at his last couple starts. So he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts last year, right? Dude. Here we go. Ready for this one? Mm. First start, 9 Ks. Second start, 12 Ks. Third start, 6 Ks. Fourth start, 4 Ks. Fifth start, 6 Ks. Seventh start, 7 Ks. Then the White Sox, 3 2/3, 3 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. That's when he just, the wheels fell off, and he's like, I don't feel good. Mm-hmm. But boy, howdy.
Yeah, and he went 7 innings once, a couple 5-inning games.
Wow.
So he's flirting with the ability to repeat and go deep into games. So that's the next step up for a lot of these players is, one, being able to put together a full season, but being able to go deeper into ball games.
Yeah. Going deeper into ball games and looking up and looking at that rotation and going, okay, there isn't a Luis Sesa in there. And there isn't a Luke Weaver in there. Mm-hmm. That's already a massive improvement. Mm-hmm. And, those other guys who came up and who could come up, that's a lot of depth. That's pretty nice.
It's fun.
Pretty nice.
It's nice, and it's very exciting.
God, and just the amount of lefties, too, in the pen with Sam Mull, who was dynamite, and then signing Brent Suter. You got 2 lefties right there. And if Lucas Sims, again, a lot of this is health. You're banking on it, but if Lucas Sims stays healthy, and you can go Mull, Sims, Diaz to shut it down.
That's pretty tight.
And Emilio Pagan and Nick Martinez can swing between the rotation if someone goes down or the bullpen.
True.
God dang,
we got some fun options, a lot better options to start off the year than what we had to begin last year.
So many. And then there are 3 signings that happened. Start with 1. Josh Harrison, UC product, signed a minor league deal.
That's pretty cool. Bring him back.
Bring him back. People were like, man. Someone posted, I forget who it was, it just said, Josh Harrison, welcome home. And I wanted to comment and be like, you should say, welcome to Louisville. Because it's cool. It's a cool story. It's nice to have a hometown guy back here, but that means a lot has gone wrong if he's on the major league roster.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we'll probably see him just as, like, maybe, like, a fun scenario. Hopefully it'll be, like, a fun situation where it makes sense to have him play, at Great American Ballpark. His family's there. Some sort of fun hurrah like that. But, yeah, hopefully not as a necessity.
Exactly, where it's like...
Unless he's mashing or doing something wild.
Yeah, if he's mashing, that's cool. But it's like... That means that, like, Ellie's gone down, McLean's gone down, Marte's gone down.
The stock market has crashed. We really don't need this.
It's over. So, another thing happened. Jonathan India got his Arbiers bought out.
Yeah.
I love that. That is awesome. It's a lot of it. He has got escalators for next season, which is fantastic. So 2025 escalators are plate appearances starts. The max he can make is $2.05 million. And that includes 400 plate appearances, 450 plate appearances, 500 plate appearances, 550 plate appearances, and 600 plate appearances. That also includes $100,000 each for All-Star and Silver Slugger first through third, MVP first through fifth. That means he's got to stay on the field to get paid.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. And I think we talked a lot of theory about Jonathan India last year and trying to read the tea leaves, what's going to happen. I think this is going to be a fun move to kind of keep like that core identity with the Reds. Also, Jonathan India seems like a player that has a lot of stuff going on in between the ears. So if you can give him as little to think about as possible, like say, hey, what's the future of my work life relationship? How's that going to function here? I think that's great. I think he's going to play a lot better now that he doesn't have to think about some of these things. And I think it'll make his teammates feel a bit more relaxed that their captain is going to be in the squad for a while.
Yeah, and they'll be throwing him around the diamond. Second, first, third, left, right. And what you said was stability. I disagree. Mm-hmm. I think this makes him easier to trade. Yeah. Because they did the same thing with Raisel Iglesias, where they bought out his Arbiers, they gave him a full contract, set number. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have someone rolling in with an arbitrator that next year going, this is what we did, and then the number could skyrocket. Right. If he does play well. And if he does, and he hits these escalators, great for him. But it's set and it's in stone. Mm-hmm. Mostly, except for that and then awards, whatever. But with Raisel, it's the same thing. You bought those years out so that way you can go, all right, this is a closer. If he plays well enough, we can move him. And that's exactly what the Reds did. Did they get anything? No, they just cleaned house, and it was one of those moves that are like, we need to get money off the books and start fresh again. Mm-hmm. Where with this, you go, okay, if he starts to succeed and plays well enough, we truly don't have much room for him, and we're just going to have to move him around. Mm-hmm. And if he plays well and stays healthy, there you go. You're getting paid. We can get something out of this. And it's a set number, so that way you can get, a better haul than what you're hoping for. Mm-hmm.
Does it say like how long he's going to be locked up with the Reds, or do you think he can be moved before even the All-Star break? He's an unrestricted free agent 2026. Okay. So there were 2 years of ARB. This one coming up, and then the next year. So you can have a guy who, at this point, he was an All-Star, or he was Rookie of the Year in 2021. Mm. He played very well, but then he has been hurt. Yeah. And this is again, worst time to trade him. This still incentivizes a lot of teams take a look and go, all right, well, maybe. But you kind of want more of a sure thing when you're giving up something like that. Right. So,
This is much different from the Josh Harrison deal.
Yeah, a tad different.
Tad different. The Reds signed a 19-year-old shortstop out of San Jose del Cabo, Mexico. His name, pretty cool, Ichiro Cano Hernandez.
I wonder if his parents were trying to set him up for something.
I wonder. What do you mean? You giving him 3 Hall of Famers names, all mashing it together?
I want to be a car salesman.
Hey, Ichiro Cano Hernandez. Insurance.
Firm handshake. Soft hands.
Soft hands. Mercedes. Dude, I mean, like, if you were born and your parents like, yeah, we want our kid to play golf. Oh, yeah? What's his name? Tiger Palmer Player. Nice to meet you.
Player A. Golden T.
Golden T. Dude, I mean, that's just so much pressure.
Yeah, it really is. But so far, he's living up to the challenge. 19-year-old, and he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? He looks like a 19-year-old named Ichiro Cano Hernandez.
Yes, he does.
Boy, howdy, it's hilarious. It's so funny. God, I don't know. I can't even imagine the pressure. Or he just doesn't give a shit. He's just like, yeah, my name's, yeah, dude, I'm from San Jose del Cabo, and my name's Ichiro.
Yeah, things rule from him.
Things rule. Or they were so mean to him. Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, Jose over here's making fun of you, bud. Yeah, Ichiro, great family name.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
Where'd you find it?
Yeah. Did you trade it?
Yeah.
Was it an import?
Import? Oh, yeah, no, I'm getting ready to go play in the Nippon League. Yeah, I'm going to go get mentored by my name dad.
Yeah, dude, that's a fucking baller name.
That's a tough road, man.
Yeah, well, he's doing good with it.
He's 19, getting ready to play some professional baseball. Can't be mad at it. Not at all. Well, let's round third and head for home. What do you got, bud?
February 8th. I believe that's a Thursday. I'll be at the Attic in Columbus.
February 8th?
February 8th.
Today is the 12th.
Oh, I mean...
March?
January, February. Oh, I'm sorry. In a couple days. Whatever this upcoming Thursday is.
That would be... So that's in 3 days. The 15th?
Yeah, that sounds right. February 15th, I'll be at the Attic. February 21st, Go Bananas. March 9th, Bombs Away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then March 29th and 30th, I'll be at Wiley's Dayton. And Billy will be there, too.
I'll be there, too. It's so exciting. Me, stuff and things. Saturday, I'm on the Don't Tell comedy show. I don't know where it is yet. I can't tell you. Those are the rules. So how you find tickets? They'll be on my Instagram. I'll be like, here you go. You buy the tickets in advance, and then it tells you where to go and what time the show is. So it's Saturday. I can tell you that. That's what I have at the moment right now. Pretty cool stuff.
Dope.
Very dope. Very dope. Let's do our thank you to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. Real swell of you. Thanks to In the Clutch. Check out intheclutch.com for all your coolest MLBPA. And we just did a Negro League refresh. They're very cool. Promo code NastyBoys, 10% off. And thank you for letting me come to the fart dunge and getting recovered.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime you need to resuscitate down here and all the moisture. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Anytime you want to come over.
Yeah, it's fine. Just come on over. Just knock on over.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and thank you for watching and or listening. And as always, go Red Legs.
Go Red Legs.